This is who we are. We are a team, talented, energetic, astonishing mindsets. We can do anything and everything. We talk, we care, we respect each other. We see beauty in everything. We are connected by heart, we live in by values. We celebrate each other. We provide value to each other. We take ownership in everything we do. We have freedom to make mistakes. We learn as we go. We are mad to make a difference. We love disruptive ideas. We make impossibles possible. We are strong to question the creation. We believe in dreaming big. If we don't dare to dream big, are we really living? Why be ordinary when we can be extraordinary? This is who we are by Shivani Shilsagar.
Thank you, Supraja. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure for me to introduce our today's speaker, who is going to tell us about career in chemical engineering. He's one of our passed out senior, Dr. Abhinav Sannidhi, PhD, Research and Development Management, Principal Investigator, Research Scientist, and Chemical Engineer. Want to know more about speaker? Abhinav completed his BTech in Chemical Engineering from Uspana University and PhD in Chemical Engineering from Auburn University, US. PhD in chemical engineering with research focusing on characterization and quantification of magnetic micro nanoparticles, spions labeled mammalian cells using particle tracking velocimetry based on dark field imaging techniques, proficient in characterization techniques such as scanning electron microscope, transmission electron microscope, X-ray diffraction, dynamic light scattering, magnetic cytometry, squid magnetometry, vibrating sample magnetometry, and problem solving skills, critical thinking, strategic planning, and adaptability. Another one is skilled project management, process development, teamwork, and cross functional collaboration with strong business acumen, along with excellent communication skills as well as interpersonal skills. And also, university gold medalist and result oriented evidence from 12 plus oral and poster presentations at 7 plus conferences with 9 plus awards. Wow, that really sounds good. Knowing a person with multiple talents and multiple skills. So today Abhinav Anna going to give us presentation on career in chemical engineering. So over to you, Anna. Let's start.
Thank you so much, Sandhya and Supraja, for the introduction. Um, and I'm very happy to be a part of Thop ECell and sharing my experiences with you all. And I'm really glad that you did a great initiative and learning from a younger age than what we did earlier. So right from first year, second year, and third year, you are learning how to um, go forward in your career. I'm really happy for that, and uh, so I'm happy to share my experiences. What all you want to know, and I'm ready to share.
Yes, no, like is it like a question or can we start with questions?
Ready to answer your questions and sharing my experiences starting from my bachelor's at OUCT and until now.
Yes, thanks for that different thoughts. So yes, Anna. So we are very much happy to have you as OUCTN. So let's start with the journey starting from OUCT. How it was, chemical engineering, is it by choice or chance, and how it gone through the journey? Let us start with that.
So to start with my journey at OUCT, this opportunity was by chance, I would say. So after getting into OUCT, like I wanted to explore more about what is chemical engineering and what are the opportunities in future in learning the basics of chemical engineering during our first year at OUCT. Later on, I have developed learning more in terms of all the core subjects during second year and third year. So after in my second year, I did internships at Singareni, Kesoram Cement in Karimnagar, and also during my third year, I did internships at like the project work, the final year project work, and internship at ISCT, Indian Institute of Chemical Technology, Hyderabad. And that helped me a lot in knowing how research works in chemical engineering and how it is useful in every aspect of our life. And that definitely helped me to know more about the research area which I am in right now. So currently I completed my PhD, as you all know. Recently I have graduated with a PhD at Auburn University, and my research area is biomedical field, connecting with magnetic nanoparticles and MRI contrast agents. I'm currently working as a research and development manager, also a postdoctoral fellow at Auburn University, and being the principal investigator for the project named MRI contrast agents, replacing gadolinium contrast agents, which are currently in the market using magnetic nanoparticles. So basically, for you to get to the position where you want to be in future, write down the goals which you want to achieve, and then focus on them one by one. So I would say, like, you need to do internships and project works, which you are doing now at Thop eCell. That is very great, in terms of, not only in terms of core areas, but also other extracurricular activities. So and during my final year, I would say, like, I didn't have a goal to crack gate or something like that, but I wanted to do masters. But luckily, we also got to know that we can apply for a PhD program directly after bachelor's. So based on our profile will need to be having a good GPA, like research experience, internships, project works, and also a good scores in GRE, TOEFL, or IELTS. As you already know about this, I guess. So based on your profile, you can directly apply for PhD program, and then after the interview, like, at different institutions, you will get to know whether you got an admit or not. So I have applied for 8 to 9 different universities for PhDs and masters, and I got admit for a PhD program at Auburn University and other universities as well. But I wanted to choose this university to conduct research in this particular area, because the project work which I have been involved during my PhD was very interesting to me at that time, and I want to choose this area.
Sean sir, I think you can go with your question.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Abhinav. Hey, one question I have. What is that one skill which you would suggest, in the narrowest sense? I want you to answer. In 4 years, what is the one skill which you think, in your opinion, is the best skill for the students to put their time on? In the narrowest manner, okay? Not in a general manner, but in the narrow manner.
Okay. Be specific towards your goal and what you want to achieve in future, and also work towards that goal right from the day one after you have fixed that goal. So don't be like I want to do masters or PhD in a particular area, and then let's focus on it after third year or towards the end of final year. Not like that. That doesn't work at all. But you need to focus on the goal which you want to achieve in future. So be it a PhD, a master's, not only in chemical engineering, but whatever the field is. I know some students will not have interest in the core chemical engineering area, but you can go into the allied areas of the chemical engineering, like biomedical, biotechnology. You can also work in data science in future with respect to applying chemical engineering principles. So you have a wide scope in future by applying basic chemical engineering background. So explore more during your like initial years, like first year, second year. Explore more how of getting to know what is chemical engineering and how can you achieve your goal in that way. So there is a lot of scope for a chemical engineering engineer rather than other engineers. That I would say that.
Thank you. I have one more question. What is that from a technical perspective? Like, suppose we take fluid mechanics. Is there a particular chapter? Is there a particular equation? Is there a particular set of equations that you think students should learn? So same thing for heat transfer, same thing for CRE, same thing for transport phenomena. Is there like something which you think you have seen in your 4 year, in your PhD and your postdoctoral now? Is there certain concepts which you think if the students learn, it will be helpful?
So coming to the concepts, you will need to stick on to the core subjects of chemical engineering: fluid mechanics, heat transfer, mass transfer, and thermodynamics. And the main thing, transport phenomena, which is the core subject for scaling up any process from lab scale to pilot scale and the full scale production of any chemical synthesis. So coming to applying these principles, I would not say a particular set of equations, but stick to these core subjects, which you will also need to study during your master's and PhD. Like, we will try to sync or apply the basic chemical engineering principles for every aspect of our study, even in future while you are doing your master's or PhD. For example, like I will work with magnetic nanoparticles with different surface coatings. So when you work with magnetic nanoparticles with different surface coatings, we will try to know what are the basic principles of magnetic nanoparticles, which are spherical in shape, and how they travel in water in different organic solvents. So here comes the basic principles of chemical engineering in terms of transport phenomena. And the mass transfer comes when we coat with these particles with different surface functionalizations and how they transfer to the organic solvents. And same thing comes with heat transfer and other chemical core principles. In every aspect of your study, you will need to apply this and see whether they are working or not. So in that way, you can stick to the basics of chemical engineering and then achieve a lot more in future.
Yes, Anna, thank you for your answers. So you did PhD in abroad. So according to you, what might be the reason most of the people move abroad to move on to the research field in chemical engineering or any core engineering branches? So what, like in India, whether we have such platforms to excel, or what might be the reason most people tend towards that going to abroad and all, according to you?
So according to me, like the reason why people like don't go abroad or don't want to go for their masters like to abroad is that lack of information and lack of knowledge, I would say. So like if they want to know more, there is lack of information during those days. But nowadays, as you all are involved with this technology during these COVID times, like you have a lot more information than people used to have in back in few years back, like in last generation or something. So you have a lot more scope to know more and get more, I would say. The only reason why people didn't explore more is lack of information.
Yes, and like we have a lot of courses to look at. like research in India, when we compare to research in India and research in US, are there any gaps to fill in India in respect to research and all? So people claim like research in India is almost zero as far as you know. So what are your thoughts on that, Anna? If one want to do research in India, what might be the motivation to look at gaps?
So the main thing, according to me, the main thing for the gaps in research area is funding in India, and then funding in United States allocated for research. So there is a knowledge, and also there is a lot more expertise in research and development in India. But the only main reason, according to me, is funding, getting funding for the research projects, and then the encouragement for entrepreneurs. Lacking in those two areas are the main things which are stopping, or which are getting India backwards.
I think we have time to establish that system here.
Let me ask you all a question, like how many of you want to be an entrepreneur in future, or do a PhD or do a master's in future, and why? So like who all want to be an entrepreneur in future?
It's me. I'm Ravika.
Okay. Hi.
I mean, I don't know. I just have interest in that. I didn't really explore why I want to do that, but then I noticed that I have interest in entrepreneurship and I want to pursue it.
Okay. That's nice. So like now that you have interest in entrepreneurship, like what are you trying to do, and to achieve your goal? So
Okay. Recently, I realized that if you want to be an entrepreneur, you should be multi-talented. First of all, you should be good with the core and also with the business techniques. So core, we are learning it here in the college, and for all the business managing skills and all that stuff, I'm trying to search for good courses, and my mentor Sridhar is also helping me with it. So.
okay. Yeah, now that you have mentioned the mentorship program at ESL, that is very great, and you all are learning a lot. And then please continue this to learn more and spread the knowledge. And yeah, it's great that you are working towards your goal to become an entrepreneur. So even I have this goal right from the start of my PhD. So I have involved. So the reason I opted for the project with this professor, Dr. Thomas Hanley, is that he is involved with entrepreneurship and different startups. So he has a company named Magna Quant here at in Kentucky, United States. So the project is in collaboration with the startup, and I really wanted to work on that project, and I achieved that in getting a project with this professor, and then I worked my entire PhD in collaboration with that company. And even after my PhD, I'm involved with a startup called Nanozot LLC. So being a principal investigator for the project, and that is also a startup, and which has a lot more scope in future.
Wow, that sounds really great.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing on.
Yeah, no problem. But like if you want to be an entrepreneur, in which field you want to be? Like is it in core chemical engineering, or what do you want?
Yeah, I want to be in core chemical engineering, but I don't know which specified field. Like I haven't explored that thing yet. So
Yes.
yeah,
Explore, and by the end of final year or year 4, which year are you in?
First year.
Okay, yeah, you have a lot more time, so explore and think of different aspects, and then you will definitely achieve your goal.
Yeah. Thank you, Anna.
So, Abhinav, can I ask you a question? Because
Okay.
they're not asking questions, I'll ask you a question.
Sure, definitely.
Okay. So, you are part of this startup. Okay. And how is it? How is your time? How are you dividing your hours?
So
Who's doing it?
I'm involved with my 60% efforts will be for the startup company, and the rest 40% will be for the postdoctoral fellow position.
And just a doubt, why didn't you rename as Dr. Abhinav Sannidhi? It's still Abhinav Sannidhi.
No,
You want that?
they're just warming up to you, and once they warm up to you, they will ask you thousands of questions. So,
Okay. Okay.
Like Anna, we were listening about doing PhD in chemical engineering in different areas. So when we go to masters, what are the different opportunities when compared to PhD in abroad? So these are questions from one of the participants.
Okay. So there are a lot of opportunities if you do a master's as well when compared to PhD. If you do a PhD, your research area and expertise is narrowed down to a particular subject. Of course, you will have transferable skills gained during your PhD, but coming to the opportunities, job opportunities after your master's will be more when compared to PhD. But at the same time, using your transferable skills, you can get a job in whichever area you are interested in after your PhD. And coming to visa restrictions here, if you do a PhD, you have a lot more scope of getting visa when compared to masters. So,
Like, is it advisable?
sorry.
Like, is it advisable to do masters after PhD? One wants to do PhD or direct PhD? Two opportunities knock the door.
This is totally based on your interest in doing in conducting research towards a particular subject. So there are people who came to do masters and then continued in the same area to do a PhD, and also there are other students who only did masters, but they are in a good position right now.
I have a question for you.
Hi.
So, we heard this from Rohit Anna that you have completed PhD in 3.5 years, if I'm not wrong. So, how did you do that?
So it's not 3.5 years. I joined here in 2016 and I completed by the end of 2020. So it's almost 4.5 years. So this does not depend on time actually. So you can complete in also 3 years or 3.5 years if you can, but just you need to focus on your profile. You need to conduct research and publish papers to get or to prove yourself. So at the end of your PhD, you should prove the PhD committee, that you have done unique work, and also you should convince that the work is worth to get a PhD in the field of chemical engineering. So you can do this even in 3.5, 4, or 5, 6 years, whatever it is. But you need to conduct a how should I say it? It is like a good research in your particular area, whichever field you choose.
One more question. So, when it comes to PhD, technically, do you learn something? Like, do you learn new things apart from research work?
Yes, definitely. So
Like academically, do you learn new things?
Yes, definitely. So the main problem I faced after coming to PhD is coping up with the graduate studies here. So when compared to OUCT and getting a degree here in United States, you need to work a lot more harder. Um, so dealing with the PhD core subjects, even if you do a master's or PhD, after coming to United States, you need to during your coursework you need to excel in the core subjects. Like I said, chemical reaction engineering, thermodynamics, transport phenomena. Um, all these three core subjects are very important. So you need to work hard, and also at the same time when you do a PhD or a masters, you can be involved with a graduate research assistantship or graduate teaching assistantship. So it's like multitasking all the works. So you need to conduct research, you need to get your coursework done, and you need to do the graduate teaching assistantship with one of the professors at your university. So you will definitely learn multitasking, and you will get a lot more opportunity to explore new things here during your first year. So you will get an opportunity to choose your professor after coming to the university, and based on the options you have here, you can choose a different area and exploring different people and learning the new areas which you have never been learned of.
Thank you, Anna.
Mhm.
Hi, Anna.
Hi, Nikhil.
Thank you for coming here and letting us know. One of the questions I what we do as a PhD graduate in the 4 years or the 3 years period, and will we be having the exams or kind of academical related things?
So after as I said earlier, like after getting admission here, you will need to pass your coursework, all the core subjects, and the other subjects which you need to choose here. So you need to complete at least 30 credits for getting your coursework done, and then based on the university you will need to complete another 30 credits or 40 credits for dedicated towards research. So out of the 30 credits, at least 10 to 13 credits are dedicated towards your core subjects. So you will definitely have scope to improve your academic knowledge, and as well as simultaneously the research experience. It's not like you will conduct experiments as you did earlier in during bachelor's and then get the work done. So you will face problems. You will try something today, it will not work. You will uh, enhance it or pivot with the idea, and then completely do a new thing next day. So it's like improving yourself uh, and improving the project to get good results at the end.
Thank you, Anna.
Mhm.
Uh, what are the areas your university is looking at, and what do you think about sustainable energy or hydrogen energy area and that research areas going on in your university?
Okay, which area? I didn't hear you the last.
Sustainable energy field.
Energy. Okay, yeah. So our university is having like focused in different areas. So mainly it is focused in biomedical, uh, and then nanotechnology for sure, and also it is involved with different data science projects. So one of my friend, he is doing his PhD here at Auburn University, and their research group is involved with data science and technology. So they will collect different hospitals information from all over the world, and then simulate the data with respect to the performance of the hospitals. So they are working with MATLAB and other statistical tools to get a final uh, performance of the hospital based on a score. For example, you have uh, ranking for different universities in the United States. So they are working to get a optimized score for each hospital in the world by simulating the data, by getting different performance data from different hospitals, and then they are trying to simulate and generate a score for each hospital. So they are involved with data science projects, at the same time biomedical, cancer related research, and drug delivery, targeted drug delivery, and also nanotechnology.
Trivedi, I have a question.